We just had a pretty banger stream for version 2.1 of Zenless Zone Zero. So great that the devs basically put every single player in what I like to call a hell banner. And this doesn't matter if you're free to play or not. If you're not a veteran player who's been playing the game since version 1.4, this is absolutely the most dangerous position possible.
But the EO, all of these characters are amazing. We have Miyabi rerun. You're so dumb. How is this a problem?
That's just it. Every single character is amazing. In today's video, I'm going to break down what I'm describing as a hell banner and why it's the worst best thing to happen for any of you this patch. Alice, Miyabi, Yanagi, or Yuzuha. Which should you pull and who's easy to skip? The short answer though, you really don't want to skip a single one. Start things off, I'll go in the exact order we'll receive the characters. For now, that means Yuzuha is first. Our first limited S-rank physical support is making her debut in the game. Originally, I was under the impression she would be a physical support and only a physical support. This would automatically make her one of the best supports for characters like Jane and Piper. But after watching the latest live stream, it's clear that's not the case. She's got a lot going for her that I can't wait to fully explore in the CE server, which I got that now. But as of today, we have the live stream to reference. Her EX skill is an AoE bomb that inflicts enemies with this status called Sweet Scare. That status is important because it pretty much leads into how she accesses everything else in her kit. Flavor Match, for instance, is the key to changing her from a physical support to an everyone support. This cool ability matches the element of whatever your main attacking character is. You see this in the footage where Yuzuha inflicts Sweet Scare, then Miyabi attacks the enemy, and suddenly those candy-looking effects start looking like snowflakes. This particular ability has some massive potential for forcing certain anomalies to trigger way faster than normal, potentially giving you situations where you can create disorder and anomaly combos without Yanagi on the team. She's also an aftershock agent, letting her potentially play nice with other self-sustaining characters like S0 Ambi or stunners like Trigger. Yuzuha even has a built-in parry from her Tanuki cloak attack that automatically converts into her EX skill. Her core passive buffs the entire squad's attack percent damage, disorder damage, and anomaly build-up. Her potential W engines are very free-to-play friendly, with one of her more interesting options being a B rank called Reverb Mach 2. Her team shells are absolutely bonkers because Anomaly is already bonkers, and she improves every single one of them by a significant amount. Even her builds are straightforward, with a 4-piece Protopunk or Freedom Blues being one of the best sets. There's a lot of implications this brings to a game like Zenless, where every week we're seeing more and more creative players come up with some insane tech. So now let's talk about the player who wants Yuzuha. Anomaly mains absolutely want Yuzuha. Even if you've been saving up for Miyabi, you still want to shoot your shot at Yuzu. She plays amazingly with Miyabi, Yanagi, Piper, Seth, Bernice, you name it. I wouldn't be surprised if we do testing and she works with non-anomaly agents too. Of course, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt and wait for more CE server videos to release, but my expectations for Yuzuha are really high right now. Following Baby Girl, we're jumping straight into Miyabi. And I know everyone and their mama is telling you to pull Miyabi without a second thought, skip everyone in the world for her, and think about things afterwards, but that's an insanely nuanced take that not enough people are open to talk about. Miyabi is, in my opinion, still the #1 DPS in the game. There isn't a single character on her level yet, and both Yuzuha and Alice releasing at the same time just increase that gap further. So in the perfect world, yeah, pull Miyabi and skip whoever you want, but in the actual reality of what consistently happens on players' accounts, pulling Miyabi and not having your ducks in a row is going to suck. There are even people who had Miyabi with her W engine and still couldn't clear content because they didn't actually understand how she worked. They just slapped her on a team because everyone kept saying, "Oh, heard their Miyabi broke and spam left click." And now we're here. At the time of Miyabi's release, most of us veteran players had free things like Haramasa or Lucy. We had multiple banners worth to get A ranks like Seth and Piper. We also had plenty of time before that to choose between Bernice, Caesar, Jane, any one of them during their initial banners, then again on their most recent reruns. Even if a brand new player started at the beginning of Miyabi's banner in 1.4, just like with Ishwin, that player had the ability to guarantee Miyabi even if they lost the 50-50. The amount of resources we had available to us throughout both halves of Season 1 is massive compared to now. But I know this sounds like doom posting Miyabi, and I absolutely do not have that intention. Miyabi is easily one of, if not my favorite DPS to play in the game because of everything she has to offer. Miyabi is so strong that she doesn't even need her additional ability to destroy something in the game. Being able to boost her own Anomaly buildup rate, boost the team's buildup, take advantage of both Anomaly and attack-based damage, shred the ice resistance of any enemy in the game, increase her own damage again, has 50 different iframes built into her kit, a parry, works on almost every single team in the game, and she can freeze whatever she wants in the game. Miyabi is literally broken. So don't get it twisted. I'm absolutely gonna tell you to pull Miyabi if the question is asked to me at face value. However, what I'm trying to get across is that despite her being that strong, you still want to build a team for her. It makes zero sense for any of you to be telling players to pull Miyabi, then watch them build struggle bus teams for patches down the line. The type of player that wants Miyabi is a player who wants the strongest options against everything and is already prepared or preparing for that. There's a funny quote going around right now in the community that even if something is ice resistant, that doesn't make it Miyabi resistant. And I actually think that's kind of cool because I told you guys that would happen, in particular with the miasma bosses, something that's supposed to counter her and she's still destroying it in less than a minute. It's going to be incredibly difficult to stop this character from steamrolling in power the way she does, and MiHoYo would have to purposely work on countering her to make it happen. The best position players could have put themselves in would have been skipping Ishwin and Jafufu, which would then give them enough pulls to not only guarantee Miyabi, but also their choice of Yuzuha or Yanagi. That is literally the perfect setup. If pulling Miyabi is the play you want to make, I'll double down behind you, but let's make sure you've got a strong team to back her up, okay? After those two, we enter the second phase banners for 2.1, and honestly, it's like looking at a mirror image of the last banner. What Yuzuha is to Yanagi, Alice is to Miyabi. Miyabi's enhanced basic attacks that absolutely shred through everything in the game. Yeah, Alice has that too, and it's called Starshine Waltz. An enhanced basic attack that builds and consumes blade etiquettes, is fully invulnerable, forces polarized assaults every time she lands the final hit, interacts with other attribute anomalies just like Miyabi, and she can trigger both of those off field, something that Miyabi can't do. She buffs her own damage, has her own specialized version of assault that works off of the original assault, also buffs up the entire team damage, and comes with her own version of DOT. Even her skills like Aurora Thrust look perfect for combos and switch tech. A lot of you guys asked me in my previous videos why I was disappointed in what I'd heard about Alice's changes, and in the simplest terms, it was that they removed the crit attributes from her kit to help match her style with Miyabi's. This is a personal thing though, and not everyone feels that way. From what they've shown off in the live stream, I'm actually intrigued by what she brings to the table. Assault was already one of the strongest anomaly effects in the game, if not the strongest, but it could never be as broken as Freeze once Miyabi released. Now we potentially get to see just how crazy Assault can become with a character like Alice. The ability to not only enhance the power of her own anomaly damage, but also significantly increase the damage multiplier of Disorder across the entire team is ridiculous. Already having powerful team shells like Alice and Yuzuha, or Alice and Yanagi, Alice and Seth, or even Caesar, even Alice and Miyabi is already being labbed out as one of the most broken DPS shells in the game. We've seen just how powerful anomaly-focused teams are over the course of the last few months, even without Astra on the team, and they continue to sit at the top. There's not a doubt in my mind that Alice is going to sit right up there with them. So what type of player wants Alice? Someone who missed out on the first wave of Miyabi, has been doing just fine without her, and wants to join the dark side of Anomaly with a brand new toy. This decision is even better if you already own Yanagi or planned on getting Yuzuha. Bernice or Vivian work here too. Basically, if you started to invest in Anomaly, but you've just been waiting on that one strong DPS to take things home, Alice is your chance for that. Finally, we get to the last of the banner units, and it's big sister Nagi, obviously. Now what's interesting is Yanagi has her own version of Disorder called Polarity Disorder, and this works exactly like how Alice's Polarity Disorder does, but it's not specific to an attribute. This allows Nagi players to abuse Disorder combos like no other. It's also to her benefit that she can't trigger anomalies off field because it gives you complete control of when and what she does to trigger the polarity disorder. And since Yanagi can trigger polarity disorder from any anomaly that procs, she gains access to combos that allow her to trigger polarity disorder back to back on top of the regular disorder. I know that's a lot of disorders, but just bear with me, okay? We're in a disorder comp right now. She then triggers another anomaly, rinse, wash, and repeat. Just like the previous agents we discussed, Yanagi also buffs the disorder damage dealt, her own electric damage, and increases her anomaly buildup rate by 45%. She also is our only stance switch character in the game, having advantages for learning when to use one, the other, or both. Almost all of her enhanced kit allows you to shortcut into her third basic attack, and her builds are easy for any player to achieve, but they still come with their own team-specific details. Yanagi is very free-to-play friendly, from her engines down to her teammates. The team shells I mentioned before apply to her too, and if you've been paying attention, you might have caught on to the commonality between all of them. Every single anomaly agent in the game works with each other in some way, shape, or form. Most of Yanagi's best teammates are in this patch. All but one of Miyabi's best teammates are in this patch. Alice's best teammates are in this patch. And do I have to say it for Yuzuha too? Everything that I previously said about the type of player that wants Yuzuha would apply to the player that wants Yanagi, but the difference is someone who wants Yanagi just doesn't want Yuzuha, and that is really the baseline for anything. And that's really as simple as it gets. And that's why I call 2.1 a hell banner for most players. So at the end of it all, let's wrap all this up with some concrete general advice I'd like to give you guys. If you want to build into the anomaly archetypes, which everyone should be doing, then this is the patch you need to grab at least 2 of these agents. For instance, it might be easier to grab Miyabi from the first half than Yanagi from the second. Contrary to that, each phase has their best partners for a player to immediately pick up. Miyabi with Yuzuha and Alice with Yanagi. I haven't even factored in signature W engines since the characters are more important this go around. But what about the players who can't afford or didn't save up for 2 limited agents at the same time? This is one of those situations where you absolutely have to make that firm decision for yourself on your own account. Every option is so good that going and asking a content creator, someone on Twitter, or even in a random Discord isn't going to give you a solid enough answer. Do you have Piper on your account? Okay, then everyone on the banner is an excellent pickup. Do you already have Miyabi? Oh man, that's awesome. Now you just need to decide which of the other 3 limited agents are your favorite and then pick that one. Then there are players who don't have one of these strong DPS options, but they have their best sub DPS options instead, Bernice and Vivian. Again, you have to decide which of the 3 limited agents you want the most. All of them work with everyone. There isn't really a wrong decision, but you can make one that you regret, and nobody can give you advice on that but yourself. If I were the one in a relatively new free-to-play position personally, I would have had to skip Ishwin and Jafufu to make sure one of these limited agents was guaranteed, and then with that in mind, my choice would be Miyabi and Yuzuha, or Alice plus any of the other 3. Nagi is my foreseen best option at the moment, but Miyabi looks like she'll give me the coolest combo, so do with that what you will. Now, if you want to hear more of my opinions about Season 2 of Zenless Zone Zero, I'll be releasing new videos right here on the channel that you can click somewhere on the screen now. If you need more help than that, join my Discord or subscribe to the channel to catch the latest vids. I think I'm going to work on a Yuzuha video next, but yeah, I can't say my usual outro because it's inappropriate for YouTube. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Email you later.